Meeting the Oskaloosa City Council to order. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. We start with the invocation. Heavenly Father, as we assemble here tonight, we're blessed to be meeting together. We're here to do city business. We'll be approving routine payments and licenses, appointing a member to the water board, approving agreements, scheduling and having public hearings, considering rezoning of property and the sale of real estate, appointing a city clerk finance director, and make a job offer to a city manager, along with other routine business. So we ask that you look down on those who have felt your call to be in attendance. For the council members and staff, please bless us with quiet and considerate attitudes, well thought out deliberations, and ultimately decisions that are best for all concerned. We thank you for the blessing of those in the audience and watching the broadcasts, the leaders of businesses and organizations who have the vision and commitment to help our city, the countless volunteers who are motivated to help, and informed citizens who have given us the privilege of their trust and support. Tonight we assemble to combine the talents that you've given us for the benefit of Oskaloosa. May the words of our mouths and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in your sight. Amen. Amen. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ibrahim?
Here.
Ocean?
Here.
Almond?
Here.
Caliguri?
Here.
Comfort?
Here.
Drost?
Here.
Hermson?
Here.
Okay. Before we get into the community comments, I want to make an announcement that on our agenda, the regular agenda, item 8C, it's a zoning request. That has been withdrawn by the applicant and has not been rescheduled. So we won't be addressing item 8C through tonight's meeting. So, moving on, community comments. This item is reserved to receive comments from the community for concerns whether or not they're included in the current agenda. Community is encouraged to speak before the mayor and city council, asked to keep statements brief, time limited to no more than 3 minutes. Any questions are to be asked of the city staff, council members, or the mayor prior to speaking to the full council, so concerns can be properly researched and answered away from the meeting. Comments are to be directed to the mayor and city council only. Is there anyone who would like to speak tonight?
Come on up, Brian.
Name and address, please.
My name is Brian Myers, owner of Brown Shoe Fit at 101 South Market Street. I'm here wearing, I guess, a couple different hats, and by default, I got chosen to come along with Mike Gipple in support of Main Street, Oskaloosa. You know, our regular attendee couldn't make it tonight, so we came here in support of her, Angie Foster, and as well as just to be here to be present, say thank you for your partnerships over the years and continue going forward. It means a lot to the big master plan of everything that goes on, not only from the city, from Main Street, for the Mahaska Chamber of Commerce as well too. So it does not go unnoticed, and we say thank you and look forward to the new city manager being involved in this as well too. It's not lightly hearted, taken by anybody, you know, downtown in the Main Street district or in the Mahaska Chamber of Commerce, you know, area too. I know we have several members here that sit on the Main Street board, and we just want to say thank you for your continued partnership. Look forward to it, and if there's anything that we can do for you guys, please, you know, let us know so the relationship can continue to blossom. So thank you. I'll yield back my time.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak tonight?
I would love to speak, but I can't see your podium. Is there anybody standing at it?
There is not. So George Tebekis, yeah, okay, you say your name and address, please.
I will. My name is George Tebekis. I'm the mayor of University Park. I come before the council tonight via Teams from Nevada. I would like to speak with you about the 2080 agreement that you guys are all going to discuss this evening. I look forward to partnering with you with the police protection. I know both of our communities will benefit from it, and I hope the discussion goes in the right way. If you have any questions, please ask.
Okay.
And thank you, and I look forward to it.
Okay, thank you, George. My understanding is you're going to stay on through the rest of the meeting. Is that correct? Okay, very good.
That is correct, Dave.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Next up is the adoption of the consent agenda as presented. We do have item D, which is a motion appointing a representative to the Water Board of Trustees, Mr. Mark Strasser. Item F is a resolution scheduling a public hearing on the vacation and sale of a 60-foot by 16.5-foot portion of the east-west alley adjacent to 407 South C Street. And item G, that is an ordinance amending the Oskaloosa Municipal Code, Chapter 13.08.570, third reading. Since it's been unanimous on all previous votes, it gets put on the consent agenda. Do we have a motion of support for the consent agenda?
Removed. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Caliguri,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson, Ibrahim,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Getting into the regular agenda. Oh, wait a minute, before we do that, announcement of vacancies, we do have 4 of them here. The Airport Commission has 1 vacancy for a term ending on December 2027 and a vacancy for a term ending in December of 2028. The Building Code Board of Appeals has 1 vacancy for an ex officio officer. The Mahaska County Solid Waste Management Commission, there's 1 vacancy for a term that's ending on December of 2025. And finally, the Library Board of Trustees, we do have 1 vacancy for a term ending in June of 2025. So, moving into the regular agenda, first up is to consider a resolution authorizing the execution of a lease agreement. This is for City Hall phones. The agreement, as proposed, is to provide 35 desktop phones. These would be purchased from Mahaska Communication Group. The agreement is for 60 months at $575 a month. Again, the phones would be placed in City Hall, and the old phones would be disposed of through surplus property disposal process. I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion of support for this lease agreement?
so moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Almond,
Yes.
Caliguri,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Abstain.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item B, this is to consider an ordinance rezoning property located at 1115 11th Avenue West from R2 General Residential District to GC General Commercial District. So this does require a public hearing. Gridco LLC, which is a Musco Corporation entity, has applied to rezone the property at 1115 11th Avenue West. The property contains multiple vacant storage buildings and a home. The application states the request is to utilize the site as parking for the Musco MSO facility, which is across the street east of the site. The site is triangular shaped, contains 1.12 acres, and abuts the railroad tracks. There is R2 zoning north and west of the site, R1 zoning to its south, and GI zoning to the east. So Planning and Zoning held a public hearing on February 4th, voting to recommend approval, 8-0. And specific new considerations can be found in the February 4th memo that was made to the Planning and Zoning Commission justifying it. So I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this?
I have a question.
Okay, I need to close the public hearing first.
Public hearing, okay.
Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Now, do we have a motion of support on this?
Removed.
Second.
Okay, discussion, Lisa?
Yeah, I was curious, I attended the zoning meeting and that, what happened to the Buxton home? Do you happen to know?
It's still there,
It's still there?
yeah, still being evaluated.
Okay.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Caliguri,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Abstain?
Hermson,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
No.
Almond,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item D, and this is to consider resolutions approving or rejecting an offer to purchase or counteroffer and approve the sale of vacant city-owned property located at 115 South M Street. So staff received an offer from Virginia Zond to purchase the vacant city-owned property located at 1115 South M Street for $2,500. A $200 cash deposit was provided, and the offer exceeds the minimum purchase price of $1,000. She plans to build a 2-bedroom prefabricated single-unit home with attached garage on the property. Notably, since she inquired about the lot, 2 other parties have expressed interest but not yet submitted formal offers. One party felt that a duplex and single-unit home would fit on the property. Another party expressed interest in an 8-plex and possibly a larger multifamily development if additional property could be acquired to the west. The city acquired the property in 2023 by tax sale certificate transfer. Records indicate the city paid $11,900 to demolish a nuisance home on the site in 2016. The lot measures 123 feet by 136 feet, which is 0.38 acres, and has no identified use for city operations. The assessed value is $14,280. And last summer, the city advertised bids and only 2 were received from neighbors wanting additional yard space. Council rejected those bids due to plans not resulting in new housing, and the bid amounts were substantially less than the assessed land value. So we're being presented with 3 options. 1 is to approve the $2,500 purchase offer. 2 would be to reject the $2,500 purchase offer. Or 3, get into the negotiation to do a counter offer and approve a sale at a higher amount agreed upon by the parties. So staff has, in their recommendations, said that they would support any proposal that results in new housing on the lot, but given the newly expressed interest in more units, the submitted offer at less than assessed value, staff is recommending option number 2 to reject the offer and advertise for bids to sell the property later. This would allow additional time for staff and other parties to explore larger housing development opportunities. So, with that, I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. We will need a motion for one of the 3 options.
I make a motion for item 2.
Okay, to reject. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second from Abu. Discussion.
Do we know what the assessed value is?
14.
Oh, sorry, 14, okay, my
Change.
bad.
Right. But
Sorry.
how long had it been open for bids?
So, as mentioned in here, we've been dealing with this since we demolished the nuisance home in 2016, so we've held it for a while.
But I mean, as far as being able to bid on it?
Yeah, we were advertising for bids last year.
Okay.
I think we could do better on that
Yeah.
property.
Agreed.
Okay,
They also
Sean?
responded.
And just to clarify, Mr. Mayor, we did not go out for bids this time.
Oh, I'm
This was an unsolicited offer for purchase.
Oh,
Ah,
okay,
thank
that
you.
makes it different.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
And Sean, the other interested parties, I mean, you and I talked about this last week. Have you heard anything from them recently? I mean, say in the last week, there's no.
No follow-up, no formal bids yet.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any reason we didn't open it up? I mean, if we've had it this long, we've demolished the property. Is there any reason we didn't open it up for formal bids? Usually those are.
Well, I thought we did last year, and we, like the mayor said, we'd only got a couple bids, and it was just the neighboring one to expand their yard. And
Okay.
I mean, what is do we open, or do we, on vacant lots, we don't reopen that again, do we, unless somebody has interest, correct, or?
I'll go to the mic.
Okay, yeah, sorry, Sean.
So that's correct. Yeah, we didn't have any formal direction to go back for bids. My thought on the matter was to hold the property to see if any new opportunities came up. Now, I did have a conversation with the ownership group for, is it Crystal Heights nursing home just to the west, to see if they would have any desire to hold on to their larger property to the east for future expansion. They indicated that they're not interested in any expansion and in fact would be open to selling that portion of the property if a developer showed interest. So I've been trying to just discuss this as an opportunity and feeling that out since last summer. To
Yeah,
see
because
what
that
might
could
come up.
actually be almost an entrance to that, correct? To
It
that
could.
property? Okay, yep.
Mhm.
I'm familiar with that, where that's at.
Sean, what was when we had it out before, I mean, when we rejected the bids before, it was just for green space, and was the high bid like 1,500,
I'm
1,000, something
thinking
like
it was
that.
less than that, maybe 1,000,
Yeah.
and then the other bid was essentially zero because they didn't fill in an amount.
Mhm. I don't necessarily disagree with staff's recommendation, but I think the thing we have to, that I look at is that we got the two bids before, officially one bid, I guess, for like $1,000, and then somebody comes in for 2,500. If we put it out for bid, are we gonna, how much more are we gonna get? How many more people are gonna be interested? The disappointing thing to me is that there are other parties interested. We set the we set the public hearing last meeting or the meeting before, so it's been out there. It's kind of disappointing to me that those other interested parties didn't submit a bid. So I just overall have a question: how serious are they?
Right.
It looks like we have an opportunity to have a home there, add to the tax base. Again, it's just that struggle. How long do you wait? If we put it out to bid, does the same person bid more? Potentially,
They wouldn't, yeah.
How long do we wait? Again, that's my internal struggle, I'll call it.
I agree with Bob on that. To me, we have a very, I would say, valid offer, or a very generous offer. I think one that would be very much above what, it's not a lowball offer, I guess what I'm trying to say, and there's a decent plan. We know we need more housing in Oskaloosa, and again, Bob kind of took the words out of my mouth. We scheduled the public hearing, and then all of a sudden it became interest expressed. I don't like that game, so I'm inclined to accept the offer. But that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a smaller bird perhaps, but it's in the hand.
Other comments or questions? Okay, the motion is to reject the $2,500 purchase offer. Roll call, please.
Hermson,
No.
Ibrahim,
No.
Ocean,
No.
Almond,
No.
Caligari,
Yeah.
Comfort,
No.
Drost,
No.
Okay, so that fails. Continue on then, right? Do we have a motion to either approve the $2,500 purchase offer or 3, to counter offer?
The estimated profit was 14,000, correct?
Yep.
Do we need to make a motion before we can discuss?
Yep.
I'm gonna make a motion to counter.
second.
Okay.
So if it's 14,000 and you want it bad enough, maybe countering would be the right way
Well,
to
the question I have, and Sean, we high level talk about this. I don't know if we got it, if we have any direction. Selling a property for $2,500. I mean, there is one on High Avenue a little farther to the east that's listed, on the market for 20. So you could say it's worth 20. You could say it's worth 14. Again, it's only worth what you can sell it for. But one just idea: if we're going to sell property for less than what we have in it, or less than what the assessed value says it's worth, the city has tax abatement on new home construction. Can we, if we agree to sell it at $2,500, can we make a stipulation that it does not qualify for tax abatement?
It's a good question, and I would love our attorney's input on that.
And the reason I ask, again, in a subdivision development where we utilize TIF to help fund the construction, that counteracts the abatement. So could we do a similar thing here, that we would accept the offer for $2,500 if they forego the abatement?
Obviously, I've had 7 seconds to think about it, but my quick thought would be yes. I mean, we can sell it on whatever terms and conditions we deem proper. I believe we can do that, make that a condition.
And to clarify, we typically do enter into an agreement with the purchaser, and that agreement requires them to build on the property with a certain
Right.
period of time. So if it's
Okay.
possible to include a provision in that agreement, that could be the mechanism to do so.
Okay. Okay. So we have the motion to do a counteroffer. Any comments or questions?
And what was your thinking on county?
I'm thinking that we accept for 2,500 with the stipulation that the house gets built as would be standard, but it would not qualify for the tax abatement.
Okay. And
And
who
the
made-
standard tax abatement is, I believe it's a tiered 5-year. It's 100%, 80, 60, 40, 20.
So if they offer the assessed value, then we would take that part off the table, or would we have two options?
Right,
I
in
think,
other words,
I think we're discussing what is our counter offer though.
right.
Mhm. And that's all.
And if there's another counter offer, then do we
Yeah,
have to
back
come
it
back
comes.
and come back again?
Technically, we probably do.
Mhm. Okay. Who was the second on that? Janice? And that's okay with you, right?
Yep.
Okay. Other comments or questions? Roll call.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Calajuri,
Yeah.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Gets us to item E. This is a resolution to authorize a 2080 agreement and contract for police protection services. This would be between the city of Oskaloosa and the city of University Park. So University Park is in need of obtaining police protection. And so the Oskaloosa Police Department does have the manpower and equipment necessary to provide that police protection. Oski Police Department would provide law enforcement services and all personnel and equipment necessary to answer calls for emergency services within the service area. The Oskaloosa Police Department shall not, however, make routine patrols of the University Park, and also shall respond only to emergency calls in the service area. The agreement is for a term of 1 year, running July 1 of 2025 to June 30 of 2026. Staff is recommending approving the 2080 agreement. Do we have a motion of support?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
So I spoke with Randy today, and I spent the whole entire day on the phone. I'm a little troubled by the words fully staffed or staffed for the police department. And I say this, and I want everyone to understand this. I'd say this if it was the street department or the wastewater or the fire department or any of them. I understand George, and George and I are personally friends. We're in the same situation at Keoma Village. I know that we have some lieutenants working a lot of hours, and I work a ton of overtime. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I think that will wear on people. If we were fully staffed and we were in the position to support University Park, I would be 100% behind it. And like I said, it's nothing personal, but as of right now, no, I do not feel like this is a good move for the Oskaloosa Police Department.
Okay. Lisa?
Can I ask, I mean, because what, fully staffed, where are we as far as staffing? Because I had heard you mention something about hiring some other people, so just to clarify, I'm surprised that, whoa, we're fully staffed? I didn't think that we were.
We're in the process currently of looking for candidates. We have one that's pretty far into the pipeline. We just
Okay.
hired one in January. So we would then be 2 down if this one works
Okay,
out.
so ratio, are we 80% staffed, or
That-
with
right now, we're
those,
3
with 2
down out
down?
of 16.
Okay, so we're 3 down out of 16? Okay. And that, I was also curious too, why there wouldn't be any driving through. I hate to turn University Park into, you know, kind of a danger. I mean, just having a presence of somebody driving through.
They don't currently have patrol.
Okay.
They don't have that's true. They don't have a patrol from the sheriff's office. No.
Okay, okay.
They ask for that if you do it, but
Okay.
that
And
might be a staffing problem.
just to compare to George, what, may I ask what the county was charging? Can I ask that?
So the question is, what's the county charging?
They're gonna charge, wasn't it 30?
33, wasn't it,
33.
George?
I just want to clarify.
That's a lot.
What was it?
33.
$6.
33?
33,000 and some change, right?
Okay.
Correct, yes.
But the only thing you're doing is responding to emergencies.
Yeah.
And I don't see it.
And I would consider from reading the 2080 agreement, emergencies are not just lights and sirens, but police calls.
Right,
You know, not
police
cell
calls.
calls.
That's what I
not-
mean.
Not non-dangerous.
Right,
animal.
so I think, and you're comfortable with the staff to be able to handle that.
It's not ideal, obviously, but our friends, our neighbors are in a hard spot right now.
Mhm.
They're going from, I think they're being charged under 10,000 to over 33,000. They asked for help, and we try to be good neighbors. So I did some number crunching. We talked pretty broad numbers earlier when this came up, and we sought guidance, and we were at like 441 calls for service in 24, 411 in 23. But if you break those down into actual calls for service that are not, out of the car, paper service, we're at 182 in 23 and 185 in 24. So basically a call every 2 days is what it comes down to. So it doesn't change our call load a
No,
lot.
right.
And they're right next door, so it's easy
Yeah.
access is what it comes down to.
And
Yeah.
then also just to clarify, how long is this 2080 agreement? Or is it
1 year.
1
1
year?
year.
1
Yeah,
year.
we agreed to do 1 year. Chief would keep records.
Okay.
One time, not just on the calls, but paperwork, and then we'll evaluate.
Okay. And then we can have a better determination of the cost of it
Yeah, maybe
in the
it's,
year?
maybe we're charging too much, maybe
Right.
too little.
I think George would appreciate a fair price.
The other thing that Chief does, we,
I appreciate it both ways.
and Ben, I'll ask Ben about that, we do go to the calls anyway. We're
Yeah.
gonna go to all those.
That's what I wonder, what
calls
our
anyway.
ethics
We go to
are.
those calls anyway, we're the backup.
Right.
The difference is, might have to stay a little longer, and then we have to write the report. Some reports would be easy to write up, some would be longer.
So by contrast for those numbers, in 24, 185 actual police calls, and we responded to 54 of those on our own for just because we're neighbors. So less than a quarter of them,
Okay.
but we're still there anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Another question, I noticed half of the paragraph on service calls is about vicious dogs. Has this been extraordinary in University Park? I'm still recovering from my vicious dog incident, so, and I know they're costly, because they're difficult to, anyway, I didn't know if that was just something that took up a lot of paragraph, or if that's or if there's something proactive you could do about your dogs in University Park, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm also on the
It's
city
just my
council.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you.
So, could you please come to the podium and introduce yourself?
Yeah.
I'm Kevin Hladik, and I'm on the city council with George.
Okay.
The vicious dog area is specifically saying the police will not be addressing those issues. That is something that we are working with the Stevens Memorial Animal Shelter to have any control of that needed, but it is not something that is included in the 2080 agreement for the police department from Oskaloosa. That is not my understanding.
So whereas in
They're gonna
Oskaloosa,
respond.
in Oskaloosa, we will respond to vicious animals, but we're not being asked to do that in University Park.
So I would want to be clear on that,
Yeah.
because there were some amendments made, and I believe the amendments involved, we would respond to vicious animals, but not animal complaints, not
Okay.
Right.
standard animal.
Right, because it says including but not limited to
Oh, yes.
response to any
My
calls or
phone-
So an
bites.
emergency call, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Right.
a dog barking,
No.
Right.
Not a dog off its leash or
Right.
something.
which we do in Oskaloosa.
But no,
Right.
no, we do not have a vicious animal problem in University.
Okay,
Right.
but I would want, I know that meant a great deal to me. It's the one time I've called 911 in 30 years was because of a vicious dog. So, I would want that. I have friends in University Park. I would want that for them. So, okay.
Thank you for that clarification, Chief. I just missed one word in that sentence.
Makes
Just
a big
one.
difference.
Okay.
I think where I'm at, if to Lisa's point, you know, what's the term of the contract? If we're going into a 3-year agreement, 5-year agreement, I would hesitate to do that. But with it being 1 year, I think I'm willing to give it a shot. I mean, if Chief said we can't do this, we wouldn't be considering this right now. And again, as Randy said, if our calls go from 180, from 185 to 320, we've got a problem. If chief staff can't handle the call, then we've got a problem, and we need to address that. And I would assume that George and the University Park City Council understands that, and we work the best we can together. That's where I'm at.
I have a question regarding, so I see that the 2080 is expected to start July 1st. Is there a reason to that date? Is that so we can potentially get more staff, or is that because of the county?
They have a
currently?
current agreement with the county.
Okay.
That's what the county
Okay.
agreement
The
expires.
fiscal year?
Yeah,
Okay.
fiscal year.
So that would give us a little bit more time to get
Okay.
some more staff. Okay.
And just as a personal side, I'd like to stress this was a county responsibility, and they're raising rates more than tripling them, is dramatic. And then they're now depending on a nonpartisan city council to clean up what mess they created. So I'd just like to stress that we are doing our work here.
Other comments and questions? So the support for the 2080, roll call.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
No.
Caligari,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item F. This is to consider a resolution that fixes a date for a meeting on the authorization of a loan agreement and the issuance not to exceed $3,105,000 of general obligation capital loan notes of the City of Oskaloosa, State of Iowa for essential corporate purposes, and providing for the publication of the notice. This resolution fixes the public hearing for March 17, 2025. And it's for authorizing a loan agreement and issuance of the $3,105,000 of general obligation capital loan notes. Those proceeds are going to be used for essential corporate purposes, namely, this provides the funds to pay the shared costs of the Southeast Connector project. Do we have a motion of support for this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion and second just to set the hearing. Any comment?
This is the project they have been working on since the 1970s?
Yep, all we have to do is figure out how to pay for it.
Long overdue.
Okay.
Okay.
The county is finally, okay.
Roll call, please.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Caligari,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes. Okay, that passes. Item G. This is to consider a resolution authorizing and approving an agreement for reimbursement to Mahaska County for the relocation of utilities that are along the proposed Southeast Connector route. So Mid-American Energy has utilities that run along the general route of the Southeast Connector project. During the initial project planning, these utilities were thought to be in the publicly owned right-of-way. Upon further review, they're in an easement privately owned by Mid-American Energy. So as a result, the cost of moving the utilities will need to be added to the project instead of being done at the cost of the utility provider. Mid-American Energy provided Mahaska County with an agreement in the amount of $1,889,000 to perform the necessary work. Mahaska County is working with the Department of Transportation on adding this to the RISE grant, which would fund 65%, namely $1,227,850 of the total cost. That leaves the remaining 35% to be split between the city and the county. The split is for 17.5% each, which would be $330,575 each. The cost is expected to be incurred in fiscal year 2026. The resolution affirms the agreement between the city and Mahaska County to fund the city's portion of the costs associated with the Southeast Connector, and specifically to reimburse the county in the amount of $330,575 for our portion of the item. Do we have a motion of support for this?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Discussion.
Glad we don't have to pay at all.
Yeah.
I said to Bob, obviously I worked there, I knew they were not in the sector, and I guess it would fall on McClure, but it was an oversight for them, they should have caught this, but
On any big project, you run into things like that.
yeah.
Mhm. It's just that's a major transmission line.
Yes,
And they don't
it
move
is.
those for cheap.
Yeah. Okay, roll call, please.
Almond,
Yes.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item H. This is to consider a motion to approve the appointment of Pam Nims as City Clerk Finance Director, effective March 4th. That would be tomorrow. And at midnight.
Cell phone will be off.
Is she just volunteering now?
5 hours and 24 minutes of freedom.
Mayor, as you know, the mayor and I and Sissy, the HR, we interviewed 9 people, had really good candidates, but the best candidate sitting right beside me.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yep. So the position does have an annual salary of $80,000, and then that would be increased to $85,000 per year after 6 months. Do we have a motion of support for this?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any questions? Comments?
Good luck.
Expressions of sympathy. Okay.
Very proud, Pam.
Roll call, please.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Comfort,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Ocean,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
That passes.
Congratulations.
Seriously, at midnight, turn that phone.
Yeah, I'm up then.
Okay. Item I. This is consideration of a resolution to hire Sean Metcalf as the Oskaloosa City Manager. In the wake of the resignation of the former Oskaloosa City Manager, it's become necessary to hire a new city manager for the position. After retaining a consulting firm, educate and engaging in a search process, it's been recommended to enter into an employment agreement to hire and employ the Oskaloosa City Manager, Sean Metcalf. Do I have a motion of support?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Now, the employment agreement that goes along with that is something that the city council did and the team, I should say. You know, all of the folks on the interview team got together on Saturday morning. From 8 o'clock until noon, those interviews were going on. And then after that, they were all convened, opinions expressed, and then the public department heads all left, and then the city council made its decision as to who to contact and see if they were still interested. An employment agreement was initially sent to him, what we proposed. On Sunday, he got back and said, I've got some other ideas, about 16 of them. And so those revisions and those counteroffers have been going back and forth, and in fact, we didn't finish up until late today. So what the council has before them is the employment agreement that has gone through the counteroffering a couple times back and forth. It's been evaluated by interim city manager Randy, city attorney Dave, myself, Pam Nims as well. That don't let the fact you're not the city clerk finance stop you from. And then also our consultants, we had them on the phone as well. And so back and forth we go. And so what we have before us is the hard copy, and then helpfully the color coding on top indicating what has been agreed to, and in red what would be deleted from the wording. Now, Dave, I wanted to call to you that in section 4, having to do with termination and severance pay. So, in paragraph B, we have the wording that we agreed to. Sean had contacted me after the final went out saying he would like to add language that says at the very end, terminated at the date of such reduction which would trigger the severance payout in 4C. So 4C is the paragraph directly below. I responded to Sean. I thought that the wording of terminated in quotes infers that 4C would come into play anywhere.
Yes, right.
But he did ask that we go ahead and bring that to the council's attention.
And you certainly did bring that to my attention earlier, and it's the sort of thing, given the entirety of it, I think it's a distinction without a difference, so I don't have any problem with that.
Okay, okay. So if my suggestion to the council then would be to pass it as is without the additional wording. And so, any questions or comments on the agreement? I realize you've only had a couple of hours to take a look at it.
And Mayor, did I say it was April 7th was the start date?
April 7 is the start date.
It says on or about.
On or before,
On or
yeah.
before, okay.
Yeah.
He's got things he has to get taken care of.
Mhm.
I mean, that's basically a 30-day window. I think that's appropriate. I think on Saturday we talked about some of the contract language and salaries and residency and all those things that have been some issues, whether perceived or real. And I'm comfortable with the contract as it's written.
Yeah.
Nothing was, I'm skimming through, nothing was changed on residency, right? That's still an expectation.
Actually, there was an adjustment made from the old contract that we had. I had modified it to say something along the line of sole and primary.
Yes, I
something
saw
like
that.
that.
I saw the mayor.
Yeah.
And I had asked about this before. Does it have to be city limits, or can it include, say, a development like Fox Run or Play,
No.
Otter
Fox
Hills?
Run isn't
that-
Fox Run is.
Otter Hills is that still?
Yeah, there.
No,
It has to be city limits.
city limits.
City limits.
City, okay, okay.
Like, it can't be on the water board.
Right. Right.
Okay, okay. I was just curious, just, because of available housing, that's another one. To be honest, I'm quite impressed with several of the things. The contract is a two-way street.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of impressed already with some of the things that he caught. So that sort of shows a good due diligence, at the beginning. I want him catching those kind of things in city contracts, as well. So I think
Okay.
this already speaks highly of him.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Comfort?
Yes.
Drost?
Yes.
Hermson?
Yes.
Ibrahim?
Yes.
Ocean?
Yes.
Almond?
Yes.
Caligari?
Yes.
That passes. It's been a long process.
It's a long process.
I'm sure you'll let the candidate know that was unanimous.
I will be happy to. Yes, yes, very much so.
And you get to go to Copenhagen.
That gets us to the end of our agenda tonight. Comments from, let's see, comments from city attorney first.
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. City manager.
Nothing?
City clerk finance to be.
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
She's calling a boo at 12:01.
Absolutely.
Totally awesome. Good luck.
Lisa, comments?
Nothing tonight. sir.
Okay.
I don't have anything. Nope.
Okay, Janet?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, how about you, Charlie?
I just want to thank the members of the public, our stakeholders who participated in the city manager search, and also I assume our consultants are not there right now, but I just do think they need some public accommodations just for the work they've done here in Oskaloosa. I think the search that just happened was incredible. I think we found a really good fit for Oskaloosa.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I would agree with Charlie. No, that's it.
Okay.
Same
Babu?
here with Charlie.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
and again, a deep thank you to everybody who was involved in the city manager search process. We had folks who were doing the tours around Oskaloosa on Friday afternoon, answering questions, visiting places, being surprised by some of the things our candidates were interested in. And so they did a real good job of addressing that. And then Friday night, the way that the public turned out for that. And
Thank
then,
the librarian.
yeah,
that was,
yeah.
yes, absolutely, I forgot that.
Marion
Lisa,
did a
that's good
very
point.
nice, very nice job. That was
Yeah,
well
and there was,
appreciated.
I don't think the folks got into the refreshments at all, from what I could tell, that they were too busy enjoying the conversation. That's the loudest I've heard it in the library in a long time. And then, of course, Saturday morning, that was a long day as well. 8 o'clock sharp we started, and it ran until into the afternoon. So thank you, everyone, for the investment of time. Oskaloosa is a better place because of it, and will be. Finally, we do have eggs and issue. Oh man! Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, let the minutes reflect. I'm getting the stink eye from the Main Street folks for screwing that up. So Coffee and Conversation is on Saturday. It's going to be at Smoky Row, free coffee, being sponsored by Midwest One. Sound is being handled by the Daily Auditorium. Anyway, we'll be featuring emergency management, law enforcement, and the hospital at that. Anyway, 8:30 in the morning. Look forward to seeing as many people there as there can be. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.